This like feeds the idea that like churches are a leech, where it's like the tax exemption. This is what people point to whenever they're like churches ought to be taxed. Because like with a church like ours, I'm like, tax me on what? On like a like seriously, like, what are you taxing me on?
Yeah.
But then you look at a church like this and you're like, oh well, there you go. Like on all that,
like that, their taxes could fund an entire school district.
That's what's crazy. Yeah. And so that's what they mean. And so that's why it's frustrating for me, because I'm like, why are you helping feed that? Like, I don't know. It's
That's So honestly, when I see things like that, and this is going to be controversial in a podcast of controversial things, this will be controversial. When you do see people like, all right, tax the church, I'm like, okay. It would like, it would be inconvenient
if it's to the point where it's like, because I'm.
It would be more.
I'll be far more conservative than you guys on this, but like,
he had a red top hat at the first.
That's right.
He had to switch it out.
I did. Oh, man. Anyway, but like if it's to the point, here's what I will say, because I don't necessarily agree with that, but like here's what I will say: if all of a sudden churches do get taxed and your church takes a huge hit from it, maybe like, I don't know, like maybe you're not prioritizing the right things. Like again, like if we got a tax exempt hit, it would be on our purchases. Right. Which is like barely anything. For these, like it would be a huge percentage of like, I don't know, I just feel like that's a problem. Like if maybe it just goes to show that what are you spending money on? Because like if you're spending money on things that benefit your community, those aren't taxable anyway. So you're not going to get taxed on those things. So it just kind of, it might help us in your defense, like prioritize better things.
Right.
If that makes sense.
That's what, my initial thought would be, that's again, outside the context of this conversation, probably, but it could. Create kind of a correction.
Sure. And I opened that door open, but
no, that's a good point. So
tax all nonprofits, won't we?
That's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing.
Or create a separate class of nonprofit.
And religious
churches, so we can tax
thought we
them.
would be going into tax code.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
That's why I'm saying I don't agree with this, by the way, but yeah.
Sure. Honestly, though, if you get enough, if it becomes enough of the norm, this is not, why are we talking about this? That's a thing, then it could be a situation where the church like ruins it for everybody, and we do end up taxing all nonprofits because there's enough money in churches, and then you would still have people who are like, but church, like I don't, that would like, create a terrible witness because they're defending it. It's like, okay, well, you're the reason that this great non-religious nonprofit now has to pay taxes.
That's right.
Can you at least open your eyes to that?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I don't know enough about
but that's fair. That's fair.
To know how any of that works, but
Merry Christmas.